guys, Larissa with BeCozi is here. Happy Friday! I would like to share my joy with you. I have this new table for hand knitting. Look at this beauty. It's really nice and beautiful table, and it has this ability to be extended if I need to make a longer blanket, and then it's on the other side too. And then if I need it even longer, I can actually make it even longer by extending it like that. So isn't it wonderful? So I'm really happy. I just had it delivered yesterday and I used it already to make this gorgeous blanket that I will show you how to make today. Today we will be hand crocheting, the same as we were doing for cat bed, but now you've been asking me for a while to show you how to hand crochet a blanket. So today I will show you how to do it. It's a small blanket, 25 by 40, and I was using this beautiful super chunky pink merino wool. You can find it at our store, BeCozi.net, and it's pretty easy. Just make sure that you have enough for your project, because if you're hand knitting the same size blanket, 25 by 40, it will take you only 3 pounds. But if you're hand crocheting like that, it will take you 4.5. 3 versus 4.5. Anyway, some people really like crocheting. They want a crocheted blanket, and that's what we will do. Let's get started. Let's get started, guys. So here we have this beautiful pink super chunky merino wool, and we will start as we usually do with casting on. First we will make a slip like that. This is the tail, this is your working yarn, and insert your hand in the slip, grab working yarn and pull it through. This will be your first stitch, like that. Now we will be making a chain, which will be our first row. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it through. You have 2 stitches, and then keep doing it until we will have 16. You have 2 stitches, and then keep doing it, keep making a chain until you will have 12 stitches. 3, insert your hand, grab working yarn, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're making the chain, try to make all stitches of the same size. Each stitch should be about the size of your palm. Let's see. So 1 stitch, and this is the size of your palm. Let's see if we have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you count in, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this one is 12. So now we will start hand crocheting. What we will be using for this tactic, we will be using a single crochet. So you insert your right hand, because we're starting from this side, and then insert your hand with the stitch on it, and this hole, this is the bottom hole, and with your 2 fingers grab working yarn and pull it out. This way you will have 2 stitches on your hand. And again, with 2 fingers grab working yarn and pull it out. This is our first single crochet. This way we will be making the first row. Again, insert your right hand in the stitch, then this fingers of the hand with the stitch on it, inside and grab working yarn, pull it out. Now you have two. And then grab working yarn again, pull it through both. This is the second single crochet. It kind of maybe remind you the way we are casting off when we're knitting two stitches together, so maybe it will be easier for you to understand this way. So again, your right hand is inside the stitch, and put it inside and the bottom of this hole, and it's the bottom, we're using the bottom only on the first row. Grab working yarn, pull it out. You have two stitches. Grab working yarn and pull it through this two. So now you can see how this second row is forming, and that's what we will be doing basically for the whole blanket. Let me show you again. Your hand is inside. Insert your hand in the stitch beside it. Grab working yarn, pull it out, and then when you have two stitches, grab working yarn and pull it through both. Single crochet. When we reach the end of this row, I will show you how we will be hand crocheting the next one. So here's the last. You can see already this is our beautiful hand crocheting blanket. That's how it would look. Now what we will do, we will turn the blanket on another side. We're flipping it over, and we basically start the same way on this side again, on the right side. You have your hand inside the stitch, and then you will need to find the top hole. You can see the stitch over here, stitches here. So what you will do, you will find the top of it, insert your hand, insert your fingers of the right hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. You have two on your hand now, and then grab working yarn with two fingers and pull it out. Next stitch, the same way, you keep your hand inside the stitch, insert it in the next stitch, grab working yarn, pull it out, grab working yarn, pull it through both. This is how our second row will form. And this is how the hand crocheting blanket will be done. This is our second row. You basically keep your right hand inside the stitch almost all the time. Then you again insert in your hand, basically your two fingers of the right hand, grab working yarn. You have two, grab working yarn with two fingers and pull it out. Let's finish second row and move to the row number 3. So this is our two rows. Looks pretty beautiful. And now we will be flipping over this on another side again, and then repeat the same way we used on previous rows. Hand inside, top stitch, grab working yarn, through it, pull it through, grab working yarn, pull it through both. Try to knit loose, because the looser you knit, the less wool you will use. If you like a really tight blanket, then you can actually do it tighter, but just make sure you have enough wool, because the tighter you're knitting, the more wool you will be using. So this is our row number 3. So you can see that it's actually pretty easy, and I personally think it's much easier than do it with the crocheting hook. So this is how it's done, and I will keep doing it until we have a blanket of a good size, and then I will come back and show you what to do next. Okay guys, so we have a blanket now, 25 by 40. It's not the big blanket, it's mostly like a lap, small lap blanket. And I want to make sure that when you're hand crocheting the blanket, when you start the first stitch, when you start hand crocheting, insert your hand and you need to start with this first stitch, because if you go to the second stitch, your blanket will go on the angle, and eventually it will be connected and actually start really narrow. So in order to have it even on the side, you start your first stitch with this one, this stitch. So insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out, and then pull working yarn through both of this single crochet. Then you go in the second stitch and you keep going. So just make sure that you have the same 12 stitches, and make sure that you start with the first stitch here on the side, and then make sure when you are reaching the end of this row, at this point of every row, make sure that you are crocheting this last stitch here, this one. Don't forget to crochet it too, otherwise your blanket will not be even on the sides. So that's how it looks. It's size 25 by 40. It's a small lap blanket. If you would need such blanket, it would be 3 pounds, because hand crocheting, or at this point any crocheting, takes more yarn than hand knitting. This blanket weighs 4.8, so 4.5 pounds. So make sure that you have enough wool for your project if you're gonna hand crochet the blanket. And now it's actually really easy to finish the blanket, because you just have one stitch left, and you are finishing it the same as you would be doing for hand knitting. You insert the working yarn, pull it out. I will not be cutting it because I will be using this wool. And then you pull it out, cut, and then hide the end between the stitches on the back. So like that. So you weaving the ends nicely, and this way your blanket will look really nice and beautiful. So this is our blanket. You can find such wool at BeCozi.net, and we also have vegan super chunky wool or artificial wool. Just visit BeCozi.net and find what you need for your next project. Stay warm and be cozy.